What did you say? Yes,
To
sir.
you? Yes.
Yeah.
What we have done, see, this will come somewhere in MCQ, okay? Somewhere in MCQ. Points are very important. Not memorize it. It will not be with memorization, but the moment we start doing practice, it will come. It says that who can appoint an auditor? That's a very important question. Statutory auditor. Ultimately, auditor should be appointed by and answerable to who appointed by whom, answerable to whom, and owners of the company, that the shareholders. Means it has been done based on a criteria. Who can appoint auditor and which circumstances? See, if directors are there before company first period of appointing auditors, means in the beginning, is that in the big that the first you are starting the new company, listed companies, okay, listed companies. If that is the case, is it, then the directors are involved following a period of which the company did not have an auditor as active at any time before next period for appointing auditors. Means still the company is in the beginning stage, then only the directors can get involved themselves in appointing the auditors. Okay, or that. Next, to fill a casual vacancy. Now you will ask, what is the casual vacancy? Is that, see, casual vacancy means that, see, even the auditors cannot resign on their own. Okay, they should give a sufficient reasons. This is a very open-ended forum. Is that we say that fill a casual and sometimes somebody will die. Some auditors, it not happens practical. Now you have a complete firm is there. Firms we are acting as an auditor. Okay, so there is a little possibility to this, but they have mentioned that casual vacancy. What we can come to a conclusion from this is, if it is the initial period, then the directors can get involved to appoint the auditors. Okay, next. That is the first thing. Second one, what it says, during the period of members, during the period of appointing auditors. If a company should have appointed auditor during a period for which appointing auditors but failed to do so. Is it? But failed to do so. It says that in simple case, is it? It says that who are next. We are saying that who are the members, board of directors. Is that during the period for appointing auditor? If during a period of if still it is the nascent stage, initial stages, it is auditors are not there, then the board of directors members can appoint the auditor. If directors fail to do so, is that if directors fail to do so, again, in members are they have the responsibility to get involved. Okay. Now, here who is the secretary of the state? Any idea?
No idea.
If anyone is not involved, then the regulatory body, is it? Then the on behalf of the government, the regulatory body can appoint auditor. Okay, new one in the beginning, is it? Means if nobody is there, then definitely the last option is the regulatory body or on behalf of the government, that a statute or external auditor can be appointed. Fine. In circumstances, in situations, and initially in the beginning, definitely first 1 or 2 years it takes time to streamline the process. During that time, how the things will move. Now, how can auditors, this is the first one, isn't it? This is the first one. In which circumstances? Circumstances are very, very specific. Okay. Second one, what they say, how can auditors resign if they have to do so? Auditors deposit return notice together with the circumstances. Means when you are resigning, you have to give in which circumstances we are resigning. What are the reasons of resigning? What situation has forced us to resign as an auditor? See, actually, auditors will be maximum, they will be appointed for 3 years. In some cases, 7 years, or maximum 5 years to 7 years. After that, auditors will be external auditors will be replaced by another auditors. This is a normal standard practice. It reflects the corporate governance also. If you are saying that one auditor is there for throughout the period, it doesn't give a positive message to the stakeholders. That is the reason. There is a rule, policy will be there that after 5 years there will be a rotation. If an auditor want to resign, they have to give the return notice and the statement or circumstances to whom they have to send the resignation letter. They have to send the resignation letter to the regulatory authority, stock exchanges. Anything is happening, anything in any country is happening, that message has to be sent. Even the directors are resigning, the message has to be sent to the stock exchange, and the stock exchange will be reflected in the website. We cannot, any listed companies cannot provide any information, because what happens if the auditor is resigning, definitely there will be impact on the share prices. There will be some impact if things are going well. Auditor will not resign usually. They will never resign usually. Extreme circumstances, when there is something which is going negatively, then only the auditor will resign. The statement of circumstances or no circumstances also sent everyone entitled to receive copy of the accounts.
So you mean they will stop conducting an audit for a company, or they will no longer be an auditor?
They will no longer be auditors. They will no longer be auditors. Isn't it? And it happens. It happens. Recently, Deloitte was there. Isn't it? I'm giving. Deloitte was there, and they said that one of the companies, they said that we are not going to continue auditors for this company. I don't want to name the company name, but the last 3 months before, they have made very clear. It has been in the news. Automatically the message will not be taken, and they give circumstances. They gave that the accounts has been not properly maintained. Very clearly, they are very fair on that. Is that if you browse on the Google, Deloitte refused to audit, you will get a complete news on that. Is that just 2-3 months before it happened? Is that is the reason when the auditors will resign, they will say it is a UK law, but it applies to every part of the world. Are you clear about this?
Just one question. After 5 years of auditing, can they change the team, or they should change the whole audit company?
Whole audit company.
In what cases do we change the team?
Pardon? No. Yes. Team, what happens? See, Now you are giving you are having an audit engagement. Is it right? You will have in some cases it happens. And a firm will prepare financial statements. A firm will do internal audit. Is it right? A firm will do internal audit. The same firm will do external audit. Actually, this is not the way it has to be worked. Okay, but fine. If that is the case, there should be what we have to do. You should be very clear with respect to separate audit teams. You should be maintain confidentiality. Is it right? And you should be very clear confidentiality. If you see the audit language, they will say that there should be a Chinese wall. The Wall of China, is it right? The Great Wall of China. You put Chinese wall, you will say it is the audit, means you should have a clear cut differentiation between each team. They should not have any interaction with one another. Is it right? They should, but these situations should be avoided to the maximum extent. In unavoidable cases only these things will work. This is not a preferable situation. Is that this is not a preferable situation? Are you clear about this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. What rights do auditors have if they resign? See, this is what it says. People are it should be. They can require the directors to call an extra general meeting, EGM. This is not a small issue that auditors are resigning, is it right? They should not have extraordinary annual general meeting should be there. Extraordinary general meeting to discuss what is the reasons for resignation. You have to see, when you are writing this, you make it a point, you see, by situation you will understand this. By doing the practice you will understand this. It's not difficult at all, okay? A notice of the EGM should be sent within 21 days. Once you are receiving the resignation of the auditors, the director should send 21 days notice to the shareholders to conduct the EGM. Auditors may require the company to circulate you have to inform everyone what are the circumstances to everyone entitled to notice of the meeting. Reason you have to mention that this has been happened. Because of this, we are going to schedule a EGM. Auditors can receive all notices that relate to GM, at which the term office has been expired, and a general meeting where casual vacancy caused by resignation to be filled. Understand what? Very important. Somewhere they will ask, mostly in section A, these are the rules. Rules they will ask in section A. That what are the reasons, in which case the auditors are resigning, and what is the sequence, and what are the things that has to be taken into consideration. Got my point? Means again, if they have to call for EGM, they have to give 21 days notice, they have to give the reasons why you are calling the EGM, and they have every other, whatever auditors has to keep informed. Anything that happening, the auditor should be sent CC, as simple as possible. Is it clear? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Next. If you want to remove auditors, okay, if you want to remove auditors, when you want to remove auditors, again, requires how many days notice? 20 days, special notice. We have to give special notice to the auditor, 28 days. If an elective resolution is in place, written resolution to terminate their appointment. See, again, it is not just based on that. Shareholders will be there. The shareholders will be informed. Board of directors are the representatives of the shareholders. Board of directors are the agents of the shareholders. Shareholders are the principal. Anything happening, it will be happening in complete coordination between shareholders and directors. Is it an elective resolution? Directors must convey the meeting within a reasonable period of time. We should not prolong it. Is that they say it is 28 days. We should not say that we can go beyond 28 days. No. It makes don't miss as early as possible. That is the message they are sending. Is that as early? If you want to remove it fast. Is it right? We have to remove requires 28 days special notice. If the resolution was passed, the company must notify the regulatory authority. See, this is where it happens. Regulatory authority is basically a stock exchange. Basically, you have to inform. Everything has been routed to stock exchanges. Anything happening, the role of stock exchange is very, very important. Is that the capital market authority if you take into consideration? But capital market authority comes first. Stock exchange is very important. Auditors must deposit as circumstances at the company's registered office within 14 days of ceasing to hold office. Means the statement of circumstances means you are not taking only one side view. Understand point? You are not. See, you have to get reply when anybody gives notice for termination. You have to get the reply. Yes, justification should be there. Auditors has to respond that yes, whatever the situation. We are not talking about the situation, but the auditors must deposit what are the circumstances with the registered office, and again it has to be given to whom it has to be sent to the regulatory authority.
So in this case, the shareholders' approval to remove an auditor is required, right?
100%. Is it? Shareholders elect directors. Directors will take decisions. Whatever the directors will take the decisions, it has to get the approval of the shareholders. No, who is the third party involved? See the thing. We are saying three-party arrangement. Is it right? When we are saying three-party arrangement, one is the practitioner. Is it right? One is the intended user. Is it? One is the intended user, and one is the
responsible party.
Responsible party. Any other third part, fourth person is involved in this process. If you say fourth person is involved in the process, you will say that who is the fourth person? It is the regulatory authority. Whatever is happening, you have to keep informed regulatory authority. Is it okay?
Yeah.
I will ask these things. I will ask these things anytime down the line. Down the line, there will be so many situations will be there where these points will be trigger. Okay, will be trigger somewhere down the line during the discussion. Immediately, I will ask what is the conditions of X, Y, Z, any topic as we are doing. What auditors, what rights do auditors have if they resign? See the thing, that's what. Auditors can receive all notices related to general meeting which their term of office would have expired. Till expiration, all the notices will be there, all the information will be there. A general meeting where casual vacancy, now your casual vacancy is casual vacancy with respect to the resignation of the auditors. caused by the resignation has to be filled. A general meeting where casual means when you are appointing and see the thing when you are appointing a new auditor, the old auditor has to be there. Understand why the auditor who is exiting the company, they should give them the reason that yes, any positive or negative confirmation to the new auditor. There should be a good proper communication has to be there between the outgoing auditor and incoming auditor. Auditors speak at these meetings any other matter which concerns them as a auditors. Means the now you can understand removing an auditor, resigning an auditor is more tedious, more difficult process. Is it more difficult process? That is the reason when you are appointing an auditor, auditors have very critical role. It's a very significant, important player they are. The moment you want to remove them, it's not a simple process that one fine day you will wake up and say that you go back. No. Is it? That is the process which we are going to work it out. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Next. What are the special circumstances? See, in the examination, they will not go this much in detail. Okay, very simple. I will tell you where they will go in detail, they will not go in detail. They are only concerned about appointment, resignation, removal. That's all. Is that special circumstance? This they will not give. I am telling you very clearly. But I will not skip the slide. In circumstances, auditor must notify appropriate authority when they leave office. Is it major? See what happens in certain circumstances, they should notify the appropriate audit authority. Who is the audit authority? Who is the audit authority? In general, there is a audit committee will be there.
Which is part of the board committee, right?
Which is part of the
Or board committee.
Independent directors.
Yeah.
Is it? Independent directors. For a major audit, major audit means quoted companies, SAOG. Is it? Or major public interest companies. Public interest, you are talking about the government based companies, okay? Government based companies. Is that you take any government based companies or government supported companies or government backed companies, notification must be given whenever an auditor ceases to hold office, whenever he wants to leave the office. If it is not a major audit, means if it is not a listed company, notification to audit authority is only required if it is leaving, whether it has been removed or resigned before end of the term of office. Before we leave, before the end of the term of office, in the middle, assume in the term of office means keep it in mind. It's not like that we are saying they will give any 3 years appointment. They will appoint every year. They renew the appointment every year. Now the point is, what we have to understand is, if it is you take this is from the January till December, something happens in the middle, in the month of August, you are removing or resigning. All these things will come into picture. Is that all things will come into picture? Means it's a process where, see, an auditor is resigning if in section B there are few questions are there, scenario based questions, which talks about the auditor is leaving, new auditor is appointed, or auditor is going on a leave, financial controller will become an auditor? A independent auditor, independent director will become an auditor. There are so many questions are there. In that so many questions, scenario based questions, we can judge whether it is reasonable or it is not reasonable. Whether when new auditor will come halfway during the process, again he has to start the process from the scratch. That is the reason. The one of the reasons is, if you live in the middle, the entire audit plan will get affected. The complete audit plan will get affected. Once your audit plan is getting affected, it will have impact on the annual reports. That is why there are so many stringent conditions has been laid down whenever we are talking in terms of appointment and removal of auditors. See, if you take Secretary of State, here we take Under Secretary, okay? Here we take Under Secretary, or if you take our similar to that, isn't it? Secretary of State is nothing but he is a minister position, okay? They say, they are talking about the UK, little bit. Whenever we are working on that, two things we have to keep in mind. One thing, we have to think about how the UK regulations are working, and the second most important thing is what ACCA rules are saying. Is it right? Who is the audit authority in the UK? Audit authority is UK Professional Oversight Board. Is that UK Professional Oversight Board, which will see the audit for both the listed companies as well as the public limited institutions. Is that or recognized supervisory body, example ACCA. ACCA is the paramount, okay? ACCA is paramount. That is the topmost institution which takes into consideration the entire audit procedures, rules and regulations. Is it? They will be part of, it has been recognized by the government also. Is that? This is what the audit authority. This will not come, okay? Where it is coming, I will make it very clearly. So, who are ineligible to act as an auditor? Keep it in mind. This will be there somewhere. An officer and employee of the company being audited. Is that? An officer or employee of a company being audited. Is that? We cannot become an auditor of our own firm, okay? A partner and or employee of such a person. Is that? Means internally we cannot become an auditor. A partnership in which such a person is a partner, even a partner cannot become an auditor. Auditor is external person, independent. Local legislation may further include that rules about the connection between the companies, audit officers and the auditors. Means employee, in simple words, an employee of a firm, of the specific firm cannot be eligible to become an auditor. Now you will ask employee, directors. Is it? Say there are so many things. Directors. There is what they will say that if a director is there and he resigns and he cannot get immediately reappointed as an auditor. Okay, that is another thing. An independent director is there, he cannot become. Financial controller is resigning, he will not become immediately. He will not be appointed as an auditor. They will say that there will be some cooling off period will be there. But usually this goes against the ethics of the ACCA. This goes again, we will cover somewhere in chapter 3-4 in detail whenever we are talking about the ethics. Is that we should not, once you are there, then again you cannot come back as an auditor. Once you are an auditor, you cannot come back as a director. Neither you, as an auditor, you can come back as a director, not director, you can come back as an auditor. Is it? The stringent rules are there with respect to the terms and conditions about the appointments. Are you clear about this?
Yeah.
Right? Now, what are the rights of the auditor? What the auditor has they have the access to the, see, keep this one, put the thing. These are most, this will, they will ask, okay? This they will ask. The access to company books, everything they can access. They have the complete access. They have the complete right to receive information and explanations necessary for the audit. Statutory audit, the most important thing. You have to make sure this is the part of the thing. Receive notice or attend any general meeting. The auditors will be present. Getting my point? The auditors will be present in AGMs. They will be represented. They will heard at such meetings on matter of concern. They respond to those any queries. Is that they will respond to any queries. They receive copies of any resolutions. By whom? By the board of directors. Resolutions will be passed at the highest level. Is that means that the auditors during the appointment and auditor, what will have? They have these rights. What is on the at the time of designation? Request a GM, general meeting of the company, to explain the circumstances. Requires company to circulate the notice of circumstances. Means you have to circulate, you have to give reasons why it has been happening. Is there? You have to tell them why it has been. I will say again, I will with all that, very rarely resignation happens. Very rarely, once in a while, once in a blue moon, resignation will happen. But if resignation happening, it means that things are not properly working. Is it okay?
Yeah.
No. A separate one. This is what happened with respect to the appointment, resignation, removal, special circumstances. Okay? Or appointment, removal, resignation, special circumstances. Now, what is the assurance? What are the, we are slowly moving in the way. As we have IAS, as we are having IFRS, we are also having something called as ISA. Is that it? Standards of auditing. Is that international standards of auditing? The people who have readers is nothing but the stakeholders. Stakeholders of the financial statements want assurance that there is a reliability. Is it that you should know? See, what is the function of IAS? There is a common standards, accounting standards, reporting standards. In the similar way, we have the auditing standards. These auditing standards will be tested in section C. Wherever we have very few, maximum 10 standards are there. Maximum 10 which will be tested. Whenever you are writing, as we write IAS 16, IAS 7, is that IAS 2. Likewise, we have to write ISA for going concern concept, for audit planning, for internal controls. Everywhere there are some standards. With those standards has to be given in reference. It will give you added marks. Is it? It will give you added marks. They say that if you have the standards, definitely it will not have a different approach. Every company will have a standard approach. This is the first point. The second point, to obtain the assurance, reader not only need to know the financial statement been audited, but they can also have a common standards. Is that it's a simple one. It's only for our information. Okay, it is only for our information. Audit needs to be regulated to ensure auditors follow the same standards. As simple as that. If you are having the standards, you will have a common understanding. Most importantly, you will have a uniformity. Who will do this will happen? They will see. They will say what is the sequence. Is it what is the sequence of the pronouncement? Who will come? What other people will do? If you want a new standard, how the new standard will come into operational? Is it? It is a process. It's not like that. Oh, there will be member countries will be there. This will be there in section A. 100% they will give one question. It is a process somewhere. Is it right? They are different I can say different divisions are there. ISA, what they will do, they apply audit for historical financial information. In simple terms, they are talking in terms of financial statements. Apply in the audit of financial statement. International Standards Review Board, they will review. Either any standards are going to be restructured, any standards need to be modified, any standards going to be reviewed. These who will do? ISRE. Whereas ISAE talks about assurance engagements. Assurance, we are talking about assurance engagements, how the assurance will be delivered by the auditor. They applied in the engagements. Means what are the terms and conditions an auditor should take into consideration whenever they will get hired by the client in the with subject matter. What is the subject matter?
Financial statement.
Financial statements. And what is the criteria?
Laws and regulations and national rules.
National rules, ISA and IFRS. Okay. What are the what is the this one?
Elements of assurance engagements.
Criteria are for
Assurance report. Evidence.
subject matter, three-party agreement.
Yeah, report.
And now what about R?
Assurance report.
Is it right? Getting my point? See, these are the things which now you can put the things in order. What is the authority? There are different things are there. Put the numbers here. See, yesterday I sent you a PDF file. Likewise, I will send you PDF file by mail as well as by WhatsApp. Okay? What they say, keep it in mind what they will do. Okay? That's very important. Their related services, international standards on related, they apply in compilation of engagement. If you ask me very clearly, I will say that this is important and this is important. I am not saying that those are not important. Don't take that message. Okay? These are also important, but most important, if you want to keep it in mind, those things you have to revise everything, but you have to revise more. You can focus more on that. Is that it applies to compilation engagements? Is that upon procedures or other related service engagements? International standards of quality control to be applied by all services falling under International Accounting and Auditing Standards Board. They are talking about in standards of auditing, review, and so far and so on. Is it? And you have the third one. This practically when you are doing the examination multiple choice question, you will automatically come across which one is important, which was not important. These are the pronouncement. What every authority will do and what is the role of that in terms of auditing process. Don't say that ISA is the paramount. ISA is the thing that will happen. See the thing. Whenever you are doing, the most important thing is your local regulations are very important. You have to follow the national rules. Any country, I am telling this in any case, we have to follow the national regulation. Here also national regulations are there. When you are talking about the audit, they say that yes, you have to finish it by 30th of April. Audited reports has to be submitted. That means the rules are very clear, is right? With respect to each and every country as such. ISA do not override regulations, the audit of financial or other information with respect to individual countries. ISA is only a supportive role. But the rule says that yes, you have to follow the national rule says that you have to follow a statutory audit procedure. What they say, to the extent of ISA conform with local legislation to the extent that ISA conforms with local legislation on a particular subject. Anything is there, anything related to the specific country, then in simple words, you have to follow the regulations in accordance with local regulations. It is a general matter, okay? Any means what they say, local regulations are the primary focus area. In the event that local regulations differ from or conflict ISA on a particular subject, member parties should comply with the obligation of members. If some there is a conflict, it will not happen actually. It will not. If there is a conflict, then fine. What will happen? The members will come into picture. Obligation of members by International Financial Accounting Committee, Constitution will come. Then they will come and they will give some suggestion. What is the basic concept? In one word, if I say, that rule says that follow the local, give priority. Is it right? First, you have to give priority to local legislation and subsequently to international standards of auditing.
You mean they have to address the conflict and differences between the national rules and the audit standards?
Yes. If in the event they differ, in the event there is a conflict, is it right? ISA on some subjects, assume we didn't come across this, and most of the time, see, they are keeping this option, but it never happens, is it right? If in some cases some companies will see if you are having any financial fraud at the highest level. Any company is having a financial fraud, definitely there will be a conflict. Is that there will be a conflict? What they will say, company level I am talking about. Company level, they say that yes, in one case one time it happens. If you take into consideration Siemens was there, I think. Is that what they will say? They have to submit on 30th April. They have not submitted on 30th April. They say that we want extension by 31st July. Even they have not submitted on 31st July. Then ask for 30th September. Automatically they are asking that extension from one place to one date to another date. There will be a big question mark. People will get suspicious. What's happening? Is it? That is the thing. There should not be any conflict. They say that you have to submit unaudited reports by 31st December. You have to submit audited report by 30th April. Done. It is uniform for all the companies, irrespective of X, Y, Z. Is it clear?
So submission of audited financials in April It's applied in other countries as well, right?
No. See, we will see
Only in
reporting date. Is it right? We'll say the reporting date. Reporting date is
yeah.
very, in our case, the reporting date is 31st December. Any company reporting date is ending with 31st December, they will give plus 4 months from the date of reporting date.
I mean the 4 months. It's applied in other countries as well.
Yes. Is it? See, in some countries they have 31st March. So, is it? They have 31st March. If they have the 31st March, you will take into consideration April, May, June, July. They have to submit by 31st July. If you have done taxation, is it right? If you have done taxation, in taxation it has been given clearly. In taxation there are due dates, submission dates. Is that they say submission dates? In the submission date they have mentioned very clearly when you have to submit, when you have to file the returns. Is it right? When you have to submit, when you have to file the returns. They have given different dates, but for different purposes. But the dates are very fixed. That dates are based on the UK system. If we are using the UK taxation, then it will be based on the UK system. Here also what happened, they say that if it is ended with 31st December, we have to submit by 30th April. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Here I am recording this, okay? Anywhere anything is there, you can. See, ISA and other pronouncements and documents examinable in F8 will be found within the examined documents. You should also check the latest edition. We refer to number of IS throughout this course. However, it is more important that you should understand how they are applied. You can apply them in your exam, means you have to give reference. These are the instructions. You follow these instructions, things will be very easy. Rather than simply learning the numbers and names. You should not say what is IS 300. When we say IS 300, we have to know. We have to say ISA 230, IS 260. When we are saying, we have to know how it is applied, going concern, how it is applied, what are the rules. We are not talking about, see, very simple, I am telling you this. People will ask, we have to write this much. No. We have to write proportionately. If they ask for 3 marks, we have to mention 3 points. If they are asking 5 marks, we have to mention 5 marks. If they are asking differences, 5 marks, we have to make differences of 5 on the left side, 5 on the right side. Each mark consists of 1 point. They will have, so otherwise, if you think that you have to write so much, we can end up writing only one question. So that is, we have to plan very precisely in that. But they say they will check. Even I told you, slowly and steadily I will give ISA numbers and where we are using those numbers appropriately. It applies for SMEs. It's a question mark. It doesn't apply for SMEs. It needs to have confidence in audit of whether it relates to a large or small financial statements. See, there is no hard and fast rule, okay? It is an optional. But for the listed companies, it is compulsory. For the listed companies, it is compulsory. For others, it is only a optional. What are the smaller entities? When you are talking about the smaller, concentration of ownership in terms of, if you take into consideration LLCs are there. If you take into consideration SPC are there. These are single person companies. If you take into consideration trading establishments are there. Very simple, which are not listed. Don't go in that much detail. Which are not straightforward. See, concentration of ownership and management in a small number of individuals. Partnerships. One or more of the following. simple record keeping, straightforward or uncomplicated transactions, few lines of business, few products, few internal controls, small businesses. Okay, small businesses is otherwise called as smaller entities. Is it fine? If ISA has been drafted to include a separate section of for requirements to help readability and clarification for conditional requirements. Requirements means they are saying that it is small and medium enterprises is will not come under the jurisdiction of the IAS. That is the message we are going to work it. Are you clear about this?
Yeah.
Okay, what is more important here? The more important thing that happens is we have to think in terms of what? We have to think in terms of pronouncements 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and more importantly, we have to think about the appointment, resignation, removal, and rights of the auditor. Is it clear?
Yeah.